Thank you, Madam Chair. I will say that this amendment deserves a double my. Now, before I get into the substance, I just want to remind everybody that yesterday in the debate about sending contraception overseas, that the colleagues on the other side of the aisle determined that the only form of contraception that would be allowed is a condom. Everything else, it seems to me, they think is an abortion. An IUD is an abortion. A pill is an abortion. I will go on and on. So the reason I mention that is I really don't want to hear medical lessons from my colleagues. Don't take it personally, but and I also want to say that I love life. We all love life. I'm a grandmother. I love my little grandchildren. But here's the thing. We watched yesterday, or last week, the United States of America taking away for the first time in the history of this country a fundamental right, and that is the right for people to make their own personal decisions on their reproductive health, their life, and their futures. And we're going to see probably very quickly 27 states ban abortion. But this amendment makes it even worse because the Supreme Court decision and this amendment disproportionately harms low-income women and women of color. Because when you restrict Medicaid coverage of abortion, who gets hurt? The most vulnerable communities. And I just ask you this. I ask my colleagues this. How do you accept, or how do we accept a premise that a woman who lacks a high income simply loses her ability to decide if it's a good time to bring a child into the world? How do we accept a policy that disproportionately hurts women of color? This amendment, and the research shows that the Hyde Amendment, as you call it, forces 1 in 4 low-income individuals seeking abortion to carry a pregnancy to term. Why? Simply because they can't afford an abortion. And for those who are going to go ahead and get an abortion, just forcing them to self-finance it, that itself have implications on families. Think about it. 1 week's work to get an abortion. 1 week of what? Not eating or paying your rent. But here's the thing. The Hyde Amendment also causes people to delay abortions. It makes their health care much more complicated. So listen, I'm going to just end up by saying this. This amendment is blatantly unjust. And on top of it, we got this dangerous Weldon Amendment in it, which allows providers to ignore the health needs of their patients if they don't align with their own beliefs. Really? Is that what we're coming to in this country? And I'll just end by saying that the decision to bring a child into this world is personal. Are you ready to love, to nurture, to take care of a child? It is something that a person has to decide for themselves, not some politician in some state who doesn't even know any of these people. This is a dark, dangerous, extreme, unjust amendment, and it should be defeated.